Habs fans, listen, you know if you watch this channel that I'm all for the Montreal Canadiens bringing in young superstars. But however, there's a key word there. Young. I want young superstars. I talked in the summer about the Habs kicking tires on a guy like Martin Necas from the Carolina Hurricanes and buying low on him because there was some friction between him and Carolina. Now look what he's doing. Martin Necas is one of, if not the straw that stirs the drink for the Carolina Hurricanes right now. And he was still young. I thought the Habs should take a flyer on him, and I got a ton of comments saying, no, he's terrible. Why would you do that? Blah, blah, blah. I'm good with the Habs taking risks on guys who are young, and you can work to maybe get their game where you want it to be. You can work on giving them more confidence and helping them get to a level where, hey, the skill, the talent is something you can't teach, but you can work on the confidence. You can work on different parts of the game to get them to be where you want them to be as potential superstars. However, I'm not about this taking, a 30-year-old plus, 28, 29-year-old plus players just because of the namesake, because they were the best player in the league or one of the best players in the league 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they're showing some flashes of that right now. I'm talking, of course, about Erik Karlsson. I'm seeing a lot of rumblings about people saying, bring in Erik Karlsson to Montreal. You could give the Gallagher contract to San Jose, bring in Karlsson to Montreal, and he could help shepherd the defense. He could help mentor the young defense. Now, while I do like that idea of a guy who's been there, done that, probably was the best defenseman in the world for a good number of years, I do not agree with a rebuilding team taking on a guy who's making $11.5 million until 2027, okay? And a guy who is already 32, and you've got to take another 4 or 5 years of this guy on your own cap hit, $11.5 million. I promise you, you take that contract and it will make you look foolish. Even if you get the Gallagher contract going the other way in a trade, trust me, it's not worth it. And I understand there's a smoke screen being put up. People are saying, vintage Karlsson is back because he's got 32 points in 24 games. That's a great total. Make no mistake about it. Karlsson is playing great. He's playing like his former self, and it's awesome. But at 32 years old, that's not going to last. And by that, I don't mean he's not going to be able to keep this up for the rest of the season. Maybe he is. But in 1, 2, 3, 4 years, you're not going to get this type of production from Erik Karlsson. You'll be lucky if you can get him into a retirement home by that age. Seriously, I'm telling you right now, this is someone you should stay away from, especially as a rebuilding team. I'm telling you right now, when you need to sign guys in a few years, like of course, Suzuki, Caufield, hopefully will be signed really long-term. Well, Suzuki already is, but guys like Caufield, maybe Slafkovsky, Goulet, you're going to need to have to sign these guys, and there's other guys coming down the pipe, guys like Owen Beck, Philippe Méchard, Joshua Roy, okay? There's lots of guys in the pipe. Justin Barron, if you want to hang on to a guy like that. The Habs are still going to need a real number one goalie going into the future there. There's a lot of pieces that the Habs are going to need to consider to have their money for, and $11.5 million is something that you're going to need to pay the youngsters when their contracts are going to be up. Because again, a rebuilding team, we heard it from Ken Hughes, he's trying to get a third first-round pick in this upcoming year's draft. These guys are going to need to get paid. And look, it'd be a different story if Karlsson was on the books for another 1, 2, even 3 years. I could maybe stand it, right? It's a different situation. Like Monahan, for example, with the Flames, he only had 1 year left at over $6 million. You do that 1 year, then you're good. He's off the books. But when you've got 4 or 5 years of a player who's already creeping into his 30s, and Karlsson's not 27 even. He's 32 years old. That is really, really dangerous. And all the people who are saying he can help shepherd the young defense and this and that, I think a lot of people are being blinded by the name and seeing the name Erik Karlsson and seeing the point totals that he's back to his former self and saying, this is going to be Erik Karlsson from 4, 5, 6 years ago. That's what we're going to get, right? It's not that. He might be that for 1 year or two. Then what are you going to do? Are you going to buy out 11.5 big ones per season for 3, 4 years? You cannot do that. Trust me, that is... I mean, I know the Molsons are rich, but come on, man. That would be catastrophic to have to buy out that type of money. And it's something that you have to look at a Montreal Canadiens team that's rebuilding. I mean, again, it wouldn't be much better if it was somebody like Colorado, because then you're already paying guys like Makar and McKinnon and Rantanen, but 11.5 on a rebuilding team. Yes, they theoretically, I mean, hey, you look at the cap situation for the Habs, it's not as good as you might think it would be for a rebuilding team. Maybe when they sell off some of these assets, guys like Hoffman, Dvorak, Monahan, those types of guys, it'll be better. Edmondson, maybe again, also Anderson, Gallagher, those types of guys, maybe. But even then, like, it's not as good as you might think it would be for a rebuilding team. There's still a lot of money strapped in for the Montreal Canadiens right now. And again, a contract would have to go the other way. And for the Gallagher contract to be off the books for the Montreal Canadiens would be good for this team's future. I love Gallagher as a player, I'm saying that, but I just mean for the team's future, it would be good. But it's not worth taking back 3, 4, 5 years of $11.5 million. Even if it's Erik Karlsson, the namesake, right? So to me, I don't think it's worth it at all. The people who are peddling this, I'm saying pump the brakes on it. I hope the Habs don't acquire Erik Karlsson. I'm all for spicy, fun superstars in Montreal lighting things on fire like PK Subban when he was a Hab, but not at this price point for this amount of years. It is not worth it. Do not go for it, Montreal. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. As usual, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.